So you found some form of lump, or should I say cyst, in your lady part, and boom, before you could even start to figure it out, it becomes bigger, it gets painful, very discomforting, and then you were rushed to the hospital ideally, and boom, the doctor says you have BARTHOLIN cyst. The cause is unknown, and then you were given series of treatment options, including watchful waiting. With the pain. And while you are trying to figure out how to deal with the pain, here you are with list of treatment options that you do not even know what to do about it, and then confusion sets in. In today's video, I am going to be taking you through the treatment options for BARTHOLIN cyst, the pros and the cons, so that you will be able to make the right decision and choose the best treatment option for yourself. So ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you can gain all the rightful information that you need for you to make your decision. Beautiful ladies, you are welcome back to the channel. My name is Odunayo and I'm a public health specialist. Let me really quickly put a disclaimer. I'm a public health specialist. I am not a medical doctor, and every advice that I'll be giving to you today, or everything I'll be saying to you today, is just advice based on my own knowledge and the experiences that I've had and experiences of other women that I've also interacted with. In case you don't know, I have made in the past series of videos on how to handle BARTHOLIN cyst at different levels for various reasons. So going back into today's video, I would like to start by saying to you that there are two basic treatment options for BARTHOLIN cyst that have proven to work. The first one is actually home remedies. I've spoken about that, like I said in previous videos. Home remedies that have proven to work. There are different home remedies that have proven to work, and there are also medical solutions or medical treatments that you can also go for, that of course they work and they give you the relief that you really want. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about these medical treatments. In another video, we'll be talking about home remedies, or you can also go watch my other videos after watching this video. So I'm going to be talking about medical treatments or treatment options for BARTHOLIN cyst. These medical treatment options are in two forms. We have the non-surgical treatments, and then we have surgical treatments. You would understand better as you go along. So I will start with the non-surgical treatments. Non-surgical treatments, number one on my list is watchful waiting, which means that you have to wait and watch and see how the cyst or the BARTHOLIN cyst progresses, and then you can then decide on what treatment options that you want. Yes. So because BARTHOLIN cyst oftentimes has no symptom, or will I say it's not every time that it is painful, then watchful waiting can actually be recommended. If you are not going through any pain, it's not as if the cyst is aggressively getting bigger. You can still function day to day even with the cyst or the lump down there, then the doctors would really not prescribe any treatment for you. They might just, ask you to go wait and watch and see if there is anything, any pain, any discomfort, then you can now come back. The second one is the use of antibiotics, painkillers, and all forms of drug. Best known to your doctor. I'm not recommending that you self-treat or that you go over the counter to buy drugs. I'm just telling you that your doctor might actually ask you to take some antibiotics and painkiller in case your doctor suspects an infection, or your doctor has sent you to the lab and your result comes back to say, oh, there is also an infection. And also because your BARTHOLIN cyst would generally not become abscessed if there is no infection. So when your cyst becomes infected, then it becomes abscessed, it becomes extremely and excruciatingly painful. So once you present with that, your doctor just generally starts to suspect that there is a form of infection. And when I mean infection, I'm not saying sexually transmitted infection. There are several infections that can be going down, that can actually go down down there, yeah, that is really not related to sexually transmitted infection, and it could be sexually transmitted infection. That is why your doctor most likely will generally ask you to go to the lab to take a test so that they can really know if what sort of infection is going on down there, and then give you some antibiotics and painkiller. The third non-surgical option that your doctor can give to you is what you call needle aspiration. Needle aspiration simply means using a needle to take out, just like a syringe, to, take out the content of the cyst. That is just what it means. And then put in some form of alcohol. When it is empty, they could put in some form of alcohol, make a little incision, and allow the fluid, the alcohol, to wash off and allow it to come out. It is not surgical. It is just, it might be a little painful. You'll be given a painkiller. It gives you instant relief. But the fourth non-surgical option that you can be given is what we call carbon dioxide laser. So a carbon dioxide laser is used to make an incision on an opening on the cyst, just to take out the cyst on its own. Sometimes cysts could have a sac, so they will use it to take out the cyst on its own, and then they drain it, or whatever they might want to do with the cyst, they might be able to do it with it. They just use a carbon dioxide laser to drain out the content of the cyst. So let us move ahead to surgical options. Note that these surgical options are not inpatient options. They are outpatient options. That is, when you have the procedure today, you can still go back home today. You might just be given some form of, maybe some hours to rest, to get yourself back. You are being given painkiller, and then you go back home. They are not major surgery. So number one on my list for surgical option is balloon catheter insertion. And what is balloon catheter insertion? I will leave the image of the balloon catheter here. It is just simply cutting open the cyst, draining it off, removing actually the sac of the cyst, and then a balloon catheter is being inserted into that hole that has been created, and then it is left there to continue to help the gland to drain out fluids and prevent it from getting clogged. As simple as that. The catheter can be very discomforting. Some have said that they find the catheter more discomforting than even the BARTHOLIN cyst itself. So the catheter can be very discomforting, but at least that it can reduce your probability of getting BARTHOLIN cyst recurrence, because it could help you make an opening there, and then also it helps this thing to go, the fluid to come out for some days, so that it doesn't, while the incision that has been made is healing up, it doesn't get closed. Catheter is usually removed after about 4 weeks. So for 4 weeks you get to take that around. Another option that is surgical is what is called marsupialization. For marsupialization, the cyst is cut open, it is drained, the sac is removed, but you see that opening that is being made is being stitched inside, just like when you are stitching a cloth. If a cloth is torn and then you stitch this place in, hem this place in, such that you don't stitch it back together, so there is an opening created. That is what marsupialization is basically about, and that opening is called kangaroo pouch. So because it is believed that the reason why your BARTHOLIN gland got clogged is because the opening is blocked. So the cyst is cut open, the gland, so they make another opening for the gland, just so that to prevent reoccurrence of BARTHOLIN cyst. Sometimes the balloon catheter can be inserted, oftentimes it is not inserted, and once marsupialization is done, immediately you are being told to take things easy. You can actually go for a lot of rigorous exercises like riding horse, riding a bike. You can't engage in sexual intercourse for about 4 weeks. Actually, you have to stay away for all those things, just to ensure that that opening heals properly. Sometimes the balloon catheter is being kept there just so that the healing, is the kangaroo pouch remains open, while the healing is also taking place. Now, the third and the final surgical procedure is what we call the Bartholin gland removal surgery. Yes, wait. In situation where the Bartholin cyst keeps coming back, you've tried marsupialization, you've tried to do everything that you can, but this cyst still keeps coming back, then you might want to consider what we call Bartholin gland removal, where the gland itself that produces this fluid that becomes clogged gets to be removed. Now, what is the function of the Bartholin gland? Because you might be thinking, so what happens to me when my gland is removed? The function of Bartholin gland is that it produces fluid that helps your lady parts to get moist or to get wet. So, and you have one at the right opening, you have one at the left opening, and they both function well. If one becomes continuously clogged and it gives you issue, they might have to take it out and then you rely on just one. Although there have been very few percentage of people that have reported to still have Bartholin cyst reoccurrence after the gland was removed. Some had their left gland removed and then the cyst moved to the right one that was left, and then they kept having Bartholin cyst reoccurrences at that gland, while some still have it at the point of the gland that has been removed. So it still becomes a mystery, sort of. So there is Bartholin gland removal, where you take out the gland itself just to give you some form of relief. So what are the cons of this procedure? The number one con I've mentioned before is that you are limited in activities, or you have limited activities for the next 4 weeks, especially if the procedure you had is the surgical procedure. You have limitation with activities, with using perfume-based products, driving, using tampons because of the incisions that have been made, and other things like that. The second con is that it could predispose you to some form of complications like bleeding, like scarring because of the surgery, like scarring, and then sometimes it could lead to infection if it is not properly managed either by your doctor or you while you are at home. Cleaning that place and all it might be very new to you, and then it could lead to infection if you don't do it properly. And the third con is that for all the procedures I've mentioned, there is still a probability that the Bartholin cyst can still reoccur. So it is really not a guarantee. Let us move to the pros. The pros, and the first one on my list, which is the main thing, is that for all this procedure, you get to have your instant relief. Anything that makes the cyst to pop or to be taken out or to be opened will give you instant relief. You get that. And another pro is that it is an outpatient procedure, unlike when you use home remedies that sometimes 2-3 days you are still on it before you can get your relief. Medical treatments are usually outpatient procedures. In 1-3 hours you are done and you are set to go home and you are fine. The third one is that in case the Bartholin gland is actually removed, this is the option you opted for, then you have really reduced your chances of Bartholin cyst reoccurrence. The fourth one is that there is an opportunity for further testing in case your doctor suspects something else, or you are just more curious to take maybe biopsy of the cyst or something. There's opportunity for you to explore further if the cyst is actually taken out in the hospital, unlike when you do it at home. So that will be all for today's video. I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to everyone that has supported this channel in one way or the other. You have engaged on my channel before. You all have been the motivation for me, and I am so grateful. In case you find this video to be very interesting, please give this video a thumbs up. help, so that other people that need to learn can also see this video. And also, please, if you would like content like this, click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and be a part of this family. Thank you so much for coming on here, and please ensure that you take very good care of yourself. My name remains Odunayo, and see you some other time. Bye bye.